What's good, guys? Go to easynpc.com for the cheapest and safest way to get caps, weapons, items in Fallout 76, and links in the description down below. Use coupon code CHIEF for 5% off. So for this video, it's gonna be on my Bloodied Commando build, which is one of my favorite ways to run a Bloodied build in Fallout 76. Hell, my first Bloodied builds were a Bloodied Rifleman's and a Bloodied Commando build, and it was so much fun being able to instantly melt everything without even trying. And this is the build that I used to do it. I did change a couple of perks since I originally made this build a couple of months ago, but this is the way I like to run it now, and it works wonders. It is a full offensive build. It is super good at melting enemies right away without even trying. You just need to play a little bit careful because you are extremely squishy. You will die fast if you aren't paying attention, guys. So be a little bit careful. You aren't invincible. And let's get right into the build and exactly what perks I'm running. So here's the build for my Bloodied Commando build. Now, we're going to be looking through all the perks, and I'll explain exactly why I choose each of these. First off, we have, in the strength, we have Barbarian and Blocker. Now, Barbarian, we're going to get actually a ton of strength from using Unyielding Armor. That is the trick. 5 pieces of Unyielding Armor will increase our strength by about 15 if we're at low health, plus this 6 right here, that's going to be at the 20 to maximize Barbarian. So that's why we run Barbarian. Next off, we're running Blocker because melee damage is huge and it can finish you off if you're running at low health and it actually lands through serendipity, so Blocker always comes in handy. Then Perception. Your bread and butter, you got your 3 commando perks. Those will increase your automatic rifle damage by a ton. That is extremely important. You always have to be running the perks for your build. And then we're running Tank Killer for the increased armor penetration and the stagger. Now the stagger is actually going to be really effective because we're using automatic weapons. We're going to be able to land a lot of shots and also potentially keep enemies stuck in a stag lock. So that is really useful. And also Concentrated Fire, which allows you to get nothing but headshots. And when you combine that with the huge amount of perception you'll have from Unyielding Armor, which right now you can see it's 19, then when you add the 15 that you get from Unyielding, you're going to be in the 30s for perception, which means that what your VATS accuracy is going to be insanely high and you can headshot everything. Fireproof, you're going to be wanting this because explosion damage, again, it's a huge chunk of damage. When you combine that with using Dense on your armor, it'll be as if explosions never touch you. You'll be walking through the fire like it's no big deal. So that's a good thing. Charisma. Lone Wanderer, because I am typically a solo player, but if you're not playing solo, I recommend running Suppressor and maybe increasing Tenderizer a bit. Actually, you could also be running Class Freak if they're running Mutations, so that way your adrenal reaction will give you even more damage. So you might want to get those to sub that out for Lone Wanderer if you like to play in a group a lot. For Intelligence, this is a no-brainer, guys, Nerd Rage, because quite frequently you're going to be dropping below 20% health, and when that happens, you get this juicy damage bonus and also AP regen, and it is amazing. You're gonna love that. And that is all you really need for Intelligence. It doesn't really provide too much else, kind of like Charisma. You don't really need too much of these. Agility is next, and this is so important to have high agility because this is what gives you all the action points, and then again increased by 15 makes this 29 agility that you'll have when you have all your armors together with Unyielding, and you'll have so much AP to just melt through all the enemies without even trying. So that's really important. And then action point regeneration, this is super good for getting your AP back. Dodgy, Since you have so much AP, you can actually spare a few to just cushion the first couple of blows you take. It actually does come in handy a lot. Also, it's great for trolling your teammates if you want to just share this perk with all your buddies. They kind of hate it, and it's kind of funny seeing their reaction, so Dodgy is a great one. If you're not running unyielding armor, Dodgy kind of hurts a little bit, but since we'll have so much AP, it's going to be a good perk to run. Evasive, for that good damage and energy resistance, is going to add up since we're not using power armor. And then Gun Fu, so that way it will instantly just be traveling from next enemy, target after target after target, to kill each opponent. It's going to make it so much easier. You literally just press Q and then you hold down your mouse button and you'll kill everything in sight. So that's super good. Then Luck. This is going to be your standard perks that you like to use. So we're going to be running Bloody Mess for the extra damage. That's always useful. The more damage, the more better. Class Freak, because a lot of mutations are going to be run with this build. You need a lot of them in order to make this viable, because you need all the defensive parts that they give you. Then Grim Reaper Sprint. This allows you to chain kills so fast and easy, especially when you combine that with Gun Fu and Dodgy. This will give you the ultimate defense and offense. So this is super good to be running. Grim Reaper Sprint is a great perk when you're doing a bloody build, especially since you have so much AP. Odds are you can get enough kills to get your AP back to full each time, and it just stacks and stacks and stacks. So it is super useful. Serendipity, this is your ultimate defensive perk. 45% chance to avoid all damage. This is amazing. You cannot be running a bloodied build without this. This is what keeps you alive all the time. So you must be running this perk. And then Starch Jeans, just so you don't need to worry about losing your mutations ever. And that's going to be it for the build. The bread and butter perks are probably Lone Wanderer, the Commando and Concentrated Fires. All the perceptions are super important. Nerd Rage is good. These two are really important with Gun Fu, Class Freak, and Grim Reaper Sprint Serendipity. The ones that are kind of flexible are like Fireproof, Blocker, Tenderizer. Stuff like that are up for grabs, but this is the way I like to run my build. And then for the mutations, we have them right here, which it's kind of like your basic mutations that you want to run for a non-melee build. So we got Adrenal Reaction to get that damage at low HP, max HP minus 50. Since we're using Class Freak, a lot of this stuff is negligible. Bird Bones for the more agility. Carnivore, because I usually just eat glowing meat after every glowing enemy I kill. Chameleon, because no bad side effect. Eagle Eyes, this crit damage is actually nice for a bit. So some enemies that have a lot of extra health, just smash that spacebar as you're shooting them in VATS, and you'll be constantly critting them because your luck will be so high. After every 2 non-crit shots, you have another crit ready. So you can crit every third of bullet with this build because of the unyielding armor, and getting that little bit of extra damage and perception, so useful. Grounded, only use this if you do not have a bloodied energy weapon. I am not using any bloodied energy weapons, so there's no point in me not running grounded. But if you have, say, a bloodied fire rate plasma rifle, don't put this on, or bloodied fire rate or bloodied explosive laser rifle, that type of stuff. Yeah, don't grab grounded. You don't need that. You don't want to lower your damage. Healing factor, just so you don't need to spam stim packs. This will help out for after every single fight. Marsupial for the jump height. This gives you a lot of mobility. That is basically the only thing. And also, losing intelligence is nothing. Intelligence has basically no effect on you in combat. Scaly Skin for the extra damage and energy resistance. It ends up losing about 12 AP, which is not that bad actually, so you can suffer through that. And then Speed Demon again for reload speed and movement speed. And that is gonna be it for the build, guys. Now, this build only works so well because of unyielding armor, which is a must-have. You need 5 pieces of this, and you'd prefer if it had Brotherhood of Steel combat armor or scout armor, and also having increased action point refresh speed. But take what you get. Now, what it says is gain up to +3 for each of your stats except for endurance while low health, which means it's going to be increasing your strength, perception, your charisma, intelligence, agility, and luck all by 3. Now, since you have 5 pieces of this armor, again, it's going to be 15 to each of these stats, which is ridiculous the amount of bonuses you get. It is going to be as if you're maxed out on every single special stat at once with this. So this is a must-have for this build to have. You're going to be wanting a bloodied combat rifle or any type of bloodied rifle with a focus or refined automatic receiver. I like to use a bloodied fire rate radium rifle just because this is the best type of automatic rifle I have. It is really good. You want bloodied fire rate or bloodied explosive. Everything else is kind of negligible. You don't really need it to be anything else. Bash damage and limb damage aren't that great for this. You're going to be wanting that fire rate and that explosive ability. As you can see, as I'm running all 5 pieces of unyielding armor, I'm able to snipe these opponents from such ridiculous ranges with pinpoint accuracy. I constantly have a 94% or 95% accuracy hitting their head, and that's because of all the perception that I have through my unyielding armor. And then in addition, I have so much AP to just spam my guns at them without even trying because of all the agility that I get from it. So it's as if the unyielding armor works perfectly for a good bloodied ranged build. I think sometimes that unyielding armor actually works better for a bloodied rifle build than it actually does for a bloodied melee build, because that is how much it affects your ability to use VATS. It becomes a instant win method for enemies, and also on PvP, if the opponents are not crouching or in stealth, you can instantly melt them through headshots, and it's crazy how fast they die. So this is something that you guys should really be running. Get 5 pieces of unyielding armor. Hopefully it's going to be Scout or Brotherhood of Steel combat armor, because those are the strongest to be using. And then once you have that, you are good to go. You have so much defense, it almost rivals power armor. And then in addition to that, you're going to be having this pinpoint accuracy from long distances with an automatic rifle. So this is such a good build, guys. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. I read every single comment. It really does mean a lot to me, all the support you guys show for my build videos. And yeah, hope all of you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed it, and have a good day.